featured pod. Can red-black get it done? Let's find out. Marshall and Paul are in the booth with the call.
Yes, thank you, Maria. Welcome back to the booth here at Pro Tour Marvel Superheroes. Marshall Sutcliffe with Paul Cheon, and we are well and truly into the action here on a Friday in Amsterdam. It is time for the third round, which is, of course, still booster draft before we transition over to Modern. As we just showed in our feature match area, Nathan Steuer still scrapping it out. He's got that draw, that unfortunate draw. We got to watch round one. It was an excellent match.
Absolutely.
But it was also a very tight, scrappy match, and it ended up going to time. And so that one ended up being a draw. And then his opponent here, Keisuke Kirito, in his first Pro Tour, sitting here at 2-0 and playing against Nathan Steuer, trying to clean sweep the draft portion.
Yeah, 2-0 with a very interesting build here, too. We kind of talked about how red-black is kind of considered the worst color combination, but if the lane is open, you can still put together a nice deck. Now, Keisuke doesn't necessarily have all the cards you would want in a great red-black deck. However, it's kind of a combo deck, right? You have kind of that nice equipment package in the deck, and the 3 copies of Hawkeye with several ways in his deck to actually deal chip damage. But when Hawkeye's in play, it's no longer chip damage. You are chunking your opponent for 3 damage at a time anytime you get a ping effect off.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I think that this is how they kind of saw the black-white deck.
Right.
It hasn't really performed at that level in reality, but the pieces are still there.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And certainly a card like Ronin is one of the cards that you want, right? Because then you can play cards like Stolen Stark Tech, use it as a combat trick, and then later sacrifice that equipment to give a creature -4/-4.
You see Red Room Recruit here from Kirito.
Yeah, discarding one. I mean,
Big Hawkeye.
And that is, given that there are 3 copies of of Hawkeye in his deck, probably thinking, well, there's a decent chance I'm going to find another one.
Nice follow-up here for Steuer. He started off with the Brawler, and now he gets to play Black Widow double agent, which means the Brawler gets to attack safely past the Red Room Recruit. That Kirito even put the counter on to try to be a better blocker.
Right, yeah, that Red Room Recruit just thinking, well, there's not too many things you can do to really punish me here, but certainly Black Widow would be one of those cards. Now, he does have access to Widow's Bite here to kill Black Widow, utilizing that, saving the Web Up. A little bit worse in terms of how you utilize your mana, but Web Up is unconditional removal, so that allows you to kill any bomb that Nathan Steuer might play out.
Widow's Bite on Black Widow? Like,
is that...
Would you even feel that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they can't just program protection from Widow's Bite onto a card. It would seem kind of weird.
That's right.
Yes, but very good removal spell, very efficient. I have gotten blown out by this card before where you give Death Touch to a creature and you kill something small. And a really great turn here from Keisuke, getting Jessica Jones, one of the main reasons to be in red, an incredibly powerful uncommon. If she stays on the battlefield and you can activate her just once, that can often be enough.
That's right. It can power you through the middle part of the game, fueling the cards going onto the battlefield. And it looks like Keisuke's okay with kind of playing the control route at this point. He's just left his creatures back every time.
Nathan going wide here with a Burrow backup, which Keisuke is thrilled for. He was just thinking, please don't kill my Jessica Jones, because if she stays on the battlefield here, now Keisuke can use the Jessica Jones, hope to maybe hit a land and a spell to play, and then just kind of build upon that card advantage that Jessica Jones provides.
So let's kick off the festivities with Jessica Jones being activated. It's going to get a stun counter.
Okay, so Murdoch's Crusade has no targets, but you can still play that Swamp, of course, for a turn. And noting for Jessica Jones, there are different cards with different templates. Crimson Operative, for example, is an effect where you have to play. You get the next turn cycle to play out your card. Jessica Jones, you need to play those cards immediately.
That's right. But great news for Keisuke as, again, Jessica Jones survives, and then maybe even in another couple of turns, he'll get to activate it again. You can dream.
Yeah, and Nathan really just doesn't have a great attack here either.
There's Cruel Alliance, though.
Oh, I thought it was Massacre Girl, because he always has one in hand.
Yeah, this is the first time we've covered him without it in his hand, but fair enough.
Yeah, but Good interactive piece. Doesn't necessarily have to fire it off this turn, given that there is a stun counter on Jessica Jones, so can maybe look to build out your board here instead if you like. You can run out, for example, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., get in for damage, or even power up the Brave Brawler.
It's a little awkward here for Steuer as well, though. You see Armanzola on the other side, and Kirito maybe just wants to trade off the Red Room Recruit or even just chump block with the Project Deathlock Soldier to get that second creature in the yard.
Absolutely.
And start activating Armanzola every turn.
Yeah, Armanzola will now get turned on. Of course, needs 2 creatures in the graveyard here to start activating it. It has been kind of underperforming as a card in general, but I think it's just difficult sometimes to just get the 2 creatures into your graveyard.
Yes.
And I believe the token comes into play tapped. So you kind of have to set up a stalemate situation. Then, of course, you can run away with the game.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the cards in red and to a lesser extent black have felt like they've underperformed. It's also like they don't have the best friends. You know, they're kind of in the wrong friend group.
I mean, when you're
like
a villain,
other
do you
red
have a lot of
cards.
friends?
Yeah, no, you don't, right?
Yeah,
They're kind of out on their own, and it doesn't really pan out.
Now, this is a really nice combo here. Bullseye, oftentimes you have to discard a relevant permanent or discard a relevant non-land spell, but with Project Deathlock Soldier, that's kind of the combo because you can just use the mana to get the Deathlock Soldier back from the graveyard.
This is really impressive from Keisuke Kirito.
Right.
He is really just kind of moving things forward. Now he's left the 3 mana up for Armanzola, and he still has Jessica Jones just sort of at the ready for next turn. Like,
yeah, I mean,
kind of pulling away from this one.
yeah, and Nathan's kind of in a tough spot because he only has the 1 Cruel Alliance. He's got 2 cards that he really wants to kill here. Probably going after the Jessica Jones, but hey, that Armanzola, couple of turns, that's all you need.
Yeah, and the Armanzola's every turn going to just be pumping out these tokens.
And Shield Spike getting in, no scry here or untap, but just making sure that both creatures are at least 3/3 so that Keisuke, if he wants to deal with one of these creatures, would have to double block. So Keisuke probably looking to just trade, although does have actually Stolen Stark Tech in hand.
No, it just feels risky, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially into open mana, you leave yourself vulnerable to cards like Helicarrier Strike, and also take up the shield, which we know is in Nathan's deck.
Is it a opportunity for Kirito to use his life total as a resource, or does he need to force it? No, he's going to take the damage.
Yeah, can just take the damage. I don't know if Nathan has a ton of ways to, for example, have reach, right? Does he have a billion flyers? I'm not really sure. And
which of your card advantage engines do you want to kill? As it turns out, Steuer is going to take down Jessica Jones.
Right.
So the literal cards in hand will, or maybe not literal, but the cards will stop flowing. But we will see a token made here on end step from Armanzola, and I think we're going to see that for many of the turns as we move through the rest here. Web Up, Stolen Stark Tech, and a Stark Industries Executive are what's in hand for Kirito. He's really kind of gotten a little creative here with this one.
Yeah, just kind of using multiple cards to make things happen. Stark Industries Executive, not really a great card to play, but hey, if you're looking to splash, you have a couple of Hydro Assault robots, which can ping your opponent for 1. You combo that with Hawkeye. Hey, those are the little minor synergies that you can kind of put together to really scrap out a win.
This also lets Kirito leave up Bullseye activation or Armanzola.
Yeah,
and it looks like he's just deciding if there's a clean attack. And you know what? At this point, the longer this game goes, it feels like the better it is for Keisuke.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, every single turn, you have the option of dealing 2 damage to something if you like, or just making a 2/1 menace creature every turn. Nathan has an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. here, which would allow him to attack for 4 with a Colleen Wing. Now, Keisuke can choose to block with a villain, then finish it off with the Bullseye. Because I don't think, we're kind of getting to the point where you can't, it's going to be much more difficult to utilize your life as a resource here, as you're at 9 life.
That's right.
Oh, just making a token here. Is he? No, it's
That's
tapped.
Yeah,
it's tapped. See, it doesn't work. So perhaps needs to go for a double block here and kind of hope. Or you just chump block, but then you're not really advancing your board state. So kind of a tricky spot here. Yeah, it does take it here. Good. Now it has the double block available for the next turn.
Yeah, this is the first turn where Keisuke's really been completely stabilized at this point.
Right.
The question is Can he maintain that?
Right. Now draws Hydra Assault Robot here.
Kirito perhaps showing a little bit of nerves there that last play. This is
Right.
his first Pro Tour, and he's literally playing against the guy that won the last one.
Right.
So that's kind of rough.
Playing against
Amazing that he's 2-0.
one of the best players in the field here, in Nathan. Came very close to winning that first match as well. So
Yep.
the deck's certainly performing.
You see the Cruel Alliance there off the top of the library for Steuer. Again, some decent targets out there. The Armanzola is the one that's been really kind of getting Kirito ahead and ahead and ahead.
Yeah.
Also, Paul, I can't help but just keep thinking about Massacre Girl. Like, ooh,
Right.
that would be excellent.
Yeah, that would certainly get you back in the game here as well. Nathan's sitting at a comfortable life here. I imagine he's going to be looking to utilize that Cruel Alliance here. Ooh, okay, so moving this over leaves the Colleen Wing certainly vulnerable to a bullseye activation.
He's going to get the Scry from Shield Spy Kit.
Right, and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. currently attacking as a 4/6, so blocks are pretty difficult to line up here.
Thinking.
Maybe he just blocks with one token.
I'm thinking about the squad. Yes.
Yeah, because it's a 4/6, so you don't really have a great block lined up here. You might just look to chump block with the 1-drop here, for example.
Yeah, that'd work too.
Nathan on the scry there.
Yeah, bro.
Okay,
Okay, it's
just puts a
gonna be
token.
a token in front this time. And then while the shields are down on Colleen Wing,
Yeah, before, okay. Can you sack?
Factor.
I don't think you, I think you can sack artifacts and
It's-
non-land cards.
and discard a
yeah.
non-land.
So again, yeah, as you mentioned, this is Keisuke's first Pro Tour. You're playing against a former world champion and former Pro Tour champion.
Current.
Current Pro Tour champion.
That's rough.
It does feel like there might be some nerves here
Yeah.
for Keisuke here. Still 2-0, but certainly that is not what he had planned here. Can still utilize the bullseye here if he likes, but would of course have to either discard a non-land permanent. Would need to discard a non-land permanent to finish off the Colleen Wing.
That's right.
And if you're Nathan Steuer, tricky spot, you can either try to just add more to the board by dropping the Okoye, or, hey, that Arnim Zola continuing to just generate advantage, perhaps this is the time where you want to fire that off. You fire off the Cruel Alliance here.
KSK does have the combo there with Bullseye as well with the Stark Industries executive.
Yeah, and also remember the Project
Ah,
Deathlock
yeah.
Soldier in the graveyard. So if he loses the Arnim Zola, then you have another
Hold
engine
on.
for your
Here's a
mana.
judge.
Three
call.
mana. I asked him if we're in the second main phase. He confirmed it. That's a completely legal play. Why would my opponent be able to get outside assistance for that? He tapped his mana. Nothing. There's no reason why you can't do that.
That's funny.
We were watching the match.
So if you remember, when he activated Bullseye and was told you can't do it,
Yeah.
Where you paid for
then Kirito never untapped his lands. He just said, okay, I won't do it anymore.
illegal, we put the game back.
And now the judge is saying, well, he should have untapped his lands. And
Right.
Nathan is arguing, why?
So is it my responsibility then, as
Well,
the other player?
yeah,
am
but
I
the
to
thing-
Let's listen to what he
untap the lands
says.
there?
So you agreed that an error had occurred and you undid that action, right?
Yeah.
You can't undo the action without undoing all the action. You know what I'm saying? Like, so by interrupting saying,
Uh-huh.
hey, you can't do this, you are both responsible for returning the game to a legal state. We did not do that. So we are either going to, we can.
Is it not a legal state to have 3 tapped lands?
That's
what
not
you're
what happened,
saying?
though.
No,
Like,
I'm
like,
asking.
yeah.
let me-
Nathan's
the reason I'm
arguing
asking is not to try to
that
get it, it's
Keisuke
to
just
understand
tapped
as
3
the other
lands for no
player, it's
reason
my
and was happy
responsibility
about
That
it.
is a legal play, but of course,
That's not what
Hey,
happened.
right, he
Those
tapped the
lands
3
should be
mana to
untapped.
activate the
You can do what
bullseye.
you want with
The
that
bullseye
action.
could not be activated, so the judge is explaining that, hey, we're just going back to the previous state because that was an illegal move. Untap the 3 lands and, of
Well, he
course,
did
the
have 3
bullseye.
mana floating, right?
He never had 3 mana. Your opponent never had 3 mana.
Okay, that's the point that you're making.
Because if we activate an ability and pay for it, and then we say that ability is illegal, we would undo all of it at the same time. This isn't a situation where your opponent floated mana, did things, and then didn't use the mana.
That would be
right?
different.
It's like if it were the mana was generated prior to the activation and they were consuming floating mana, then I agree with you that the mana would be there and be lost. Like which is more common in just decks that produce an excessive amount of mana that they later consume during the turn, then I would agree. But in this situation, and in most situations with paying for a cost all kind of at the same time, we've never had a state where we were just floating mana.
That's fine. I mean, he can untap his lands, but I'd like to know for the future, as the other player, if it's my responsibility to tell my opponent that in similar situations. That's the point that I'm unsure about.
So the suggestion that I have for you is whenever you have an error in a game like this, and you're unsure what's going on, we should call for judge at the moment, rather than allow the situation to be ambiguous.
But it's not an illegal game state.
But it wasn't illegal. We had an illegal action that we self-corrected, right? As the players, which we completely allow. We don't have to involve a judge when something goes wrong. However, we can't allow that to allow an advantage to occur.
Okay.
And in this situation, that is more akin to what's happened than your opponent unintentionally utilizing their leaving mana and reducing their resources.
Okay.
So in the situation of if your opponent themselves entirely tapped mana, did an action, and then themselves left their mana tapped.
That's what happened.
No, you corrected the mistake. Correct? From what I saw?
Yeah,
I
you
did- I
You
did say
interjected,
that.
right? So you were involved in what happened?
Yeah.
So both players are then responsible for getting the game to a legal state.
Okay, I
And
understand.
that's not what happened here. And that's why we want to intervene and correct the land.
Yeah, so
Because
Kirito's going to
this
have
is
his
also
3
a
mana
substitute.
untapped.
Yeah, you can
Right.
untap your 3 lands.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we talk more about this.
There we
after
go.
your match.
Yeah.
Can we just get a time extension
We
and then?
paused your clock, so you're going to get the full time.
Thank you. You're good. I just didn't know that was how the rules worked.
Yeah, so getting good clarification here from the judge.
Yeah.
And we get to kind of get back to action here.
Yeah, and it does mean that Kirito has the opportunity to either activate Armanzola or use Bullseye. And what I mean is he can use Bullseye either with the executive or not.
And Keisuke does certainly have cards he can throw away here if he wants to just manage the board and get that Colleen Wing off the battlefield. It's always scary. You know it's very unlikely that they have too many things to do with the Colleen
Right.
Wing, but it just takes that one counter with the Scry, and you're just getting your value there.
Steuer maybe deciding to build out his board here instead.
Yeah, that's what it looks like here. It's like, all right, well, you have your choice of... And, oh, the Shield Spike Kit was moved here.
No, he is going to go ahead
Yeah.
and use
The Cruel
his
Alliance.
Cruel Alliance on Armanzola.
Arnim Zola, and choosing not to gain to 3 life here, just keeping the Colleen Wing back.
Yep.
Okay, so I
All
guess the Stark Executive was summoning sick.
Right.
Kirito down to 5, but now he has that little 1-2 punch. But no, he's just going to go ahead and scoop him up.
Concede?
He scooped.
Sorry, it wasn't
What?
about this call. I'm fine
What?
with the mana thing. I just didn't understand.
That's
the
okay.
reminder of
That
this.
seems like a pretty early concession.
I don't
'cause
know why he scooped there.
He had a Project Deathlock Soldier. He could have gotten back to chump block.
Totally.
He was at 5 life. Unless
He
the life
also
total-
had that combo of make a treasure token, sack it to
deal,
Bullseye, right?
to deal damage.
That's 5
Yeah.
mana to do 2 damage. I mean, it's
Okay.
not super efficient, but
Yeah, I mean,
in combination with blocks, you can start taking out
right.
attackers.
Certainly Nathan was in a good spot there, but I felt like that was a little bit early there to concede there.
19.
Right? Curve here from Keisuke. Now, I will say, I am impressed that Keisuke is 2-0.
How is he 2-0 with this deck?
With these cards that, you know,
Vibranium, daggers, and
there are multiple.
look at the start.
Look, there are multiple cards in play that I have never played, and I've done over 50 drafts of this format. So this, you know, it's impressive that Keisuke was able to find these pieces that seemingly have worked really well together
How?
here.
How did this happen? Stark Industries executive with Vibranium energy daggers is not the curve out I've ever seen before.
All right.
What's the next one? Bullseye.
Okay, Bullseye's fine. I probably just either discarding that stolen Stark Tech or getting rid of the daggers. Yep.
18.
And hey, I mean,
Get in there with the executive.
yeah, he's got the board advantage here. And hey, look, if you run out of things to do, you can move those daggers over.
That's right.
You can put that on the Bullseye.
Or sacrifice them.
Right, sure. Oh, and there's a Ruinous Wrecking Crew. So you can just play that, and you can sacrifice, of course, the Stark Executive, but that would also make Nathan sacrifice the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oftentimes you want to fire it off for more mana if you can here, but you can still just do it for 1 here and choose the each player sacrifices a creature mode. Oh, it has a land as well, so. See if we can get the different modes on the Ruinous Wrecking Crew. Not a lot else you can do here, right? So I just imagine you're going to just want to play out the land and just fire it off. But keeping the land here, you don't want to just play it for more, right? Like, you just might as well.
I mean, I guess if you're going to discard it.
Right? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do this for 2 here. So 2 life and sacrifice
the
creature
modes?
is my guess.
Sorry.
You're choosing what?
Yeah, choosing the lose life and the sacrifice.
Well,
So,
Keisuke found the
sacrifice
benefit of
versus
having
sacrifice.
unplayable creatures in your deck. You can sacrifice them.
Got there. Yeah. And
Still, the Ruinous Wrecking Crew is
Yeah.
one of the highlights of
Right.
the black-red color
absolutely.
pair.
Avengers Under Siege and Ruinous Wrecking Crew
Yeah.
are like kind of the reasons why you end up in a black-red
Right.
deck.
They perform well, like
Absolutely.
actually well, and
Yeah.
that's even in the context of their archetype being the least performant. So
Yeah.
it's actually pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Now, Keisuke here does have the ability to move those daggers over. And that's 8 damage coming in here.
Seriously?
Can put that on the bullseye here and set up a really nice thing. Ooh, actually just drew a Hawkeye off the top,
Whoa.
which then combos quite well with the bullseye too, right? Because you play that, then if you can sacrifice an artifact, you can go 4 damage to any target.
Any target you want, including Nathan.
Or you can move the Vibranium daggers onto the Hawkeye,
Uh-huh.
and she'll help you deal even more damage.
Yes.
So, Nathan,
That is Night Nurse just on end step there.
right, just needs to play something, wants something to equip, move, put onto the shield, spike it. Now Nathan
This is
also
incredible.
Nathan also has a take up the shield, so might just move it over and use take up the shield if Hawkeye blocks. And this also kind of looks like it might be a desperation attack, but Keisuke probably just good to just take it here,
21
right?
life.
At 21 life,
Probably, even if you sense desperation,
right?
which it does look like that. But Keisuke's just not in a position to need to take really any risk.
Right.
No blocks.
Takes it here, and Nathan has a Brave Brawler and a land drop for the turn, so can just play out the Brave Brawler and still take up the shield here.
A lot of lifelink.
Yeah. Would have liked to see kind of black mana up to represent Widow's Bite, but I guess both players know the decks, so. All right, Keisuke here with a
What did he
very
find?
very nice board.
Ronan?
Ronan.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
all these pieces kind of working well in harmony.
I guess all you need is all uncommons and you're good to go.
Yeah, and a rare.
And a rare too.
Yes.
Yeah, really interesting spot here for Keisuke. Every turn he keeps drawing action, has access to that bullseye. I mean, you could just consider attacking with just the Ruinous Wrecking Crew, leaving up the bullseye and see what happens.
Yeah.
Right, because then you don't get got by the take up the shield here.
Right.
There's no scenario where Nathan can really blow out Keisuke here. So Nathan might just have to take the damage here.
That's a big hit, down to
Yeah.
9.
But Nathan does have 2 big life linkers. And yeah, runs
there's
out
Ronan.
the Ronan.
Battlefield.
Okay.
This is a motley crew.
Oh, and remember, Ronan, you can use that mana, which I have not used before,
Wow.
immediately to move the daggers over. So now you can have a great
one less,
blocker
right? Yeah.
available.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, it gives you 2 mana here. And of course, Keisuke is at a high enough life total. And yeah, moving it over to the Hawkeye, because if you do, then whenever you get triggers off of that bullseye, I mean, you're dealing a lot of damage.
That's right. And Keisuke can move it back over to Ronan Shadowstalker if he'd like to use the tap ability of that.
Of course, yeah, definitely. Ooh, Massacre Girl
Oh,
off
and
the
it's
top.
Massacre Girl for Steuer.
3, 4, 5,
Is that enough to kill the Hawkeye as well?
It is.
Oh my gosh.
What a rip there for Nathan Steuer.
Unbelievable.
around for the ride.
I mean, we've seen this Massacre Girl completely carry Nathan Steuer over the course of this draft. Wow.
Unbelievable. Is that Jessica Jones there, though?
That
for
is a
Kirito?
Jessica Jones.
So that is the ideal rebuild
Oh, yeah,
plan.
absolutely here.
16 to 9.
Unless there's a removal spell. No, there
No.
isn't one for
Yeah.
Steuer.
Nathan will be able to get in for 5 here with the Shield Spike Kit, perhaps just running out that Unliving Legionnaire, maybe get into a racing situation.
Yeah, that does seem tempting. And it
Oh.
does put pressure on Keisuke to hit something off of Jessica Jones.
Oh, Nathan didn't move the Shield Spike Kit there. I imagine you want the Scry. Yeah. Right, gets the Scry.
Bottom.
Bottoms a land immediately.
11 to 9.
Take 5.
3/2 flyer.
Go. All right,
Right.
this is huge here. A draw step plus 2 looks.
Yeah, Murdoch's Crusade, web up, needs a removal spell here. Would love to be able to kill the Massacre Girl. Oh, draws the Murdoch's Crusade naturally, but of course you also want to hit your land drops here. And remember, Nathan is 2 lands away from activating the Unliving Legionnaire.
Right.
All right, there's the land. Okay, land.
Drops acquired.
So you can cast Murdoch's Crusade and move the daggers over. Those seem to be that seems to be the options here. Murdoch's Crusade. But if you do leave yourself vulnerable to Murdoch's Crusade.
That's right.
So things still looking pretty good here for Nathan. He's getting that Scry every turn. Draw a land, which isn't technically the worst, because the 6th land means now any draw off the top is a good relevant card, right?
That's right.
If you draw land number 7, you can power up the Unliving Legionnaire, and of course any creature is just another threat to play on the battlefield.
He's also just winning this race pretty nicely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
2-turn clock here from Steuer realistically.
Keisuke needs something here. Another removal spell, a web up. That is a land.
Oh, it was a land off the top.
Okay. That gets Keisuke down to 2, and now Nathan has Take Up the Shield and Spider-Man. I just don't think Keisuke is going to have enough
No,
here,
there's no
given that he
way.
goes down to 2.
Even
goes
with
down to 3
Jessica
here.
Jones.
Right. Because you have to tap her.
Right.
But you do look at 4 cards, right? Because it
Yes.
keys off of her power.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I suppose if you can find the perfect combination of spells here to play, to somehow
Just exile effects,
you need
basically?
you need a web up here, and that is not a web up.
Nope.
That is not going to get it done.
Yeah, it looks like Steuer with that very timely Massacre Girl is going to, I'm going to say this carefully, remain undefeated.
Right? Yeah. No. I mean, there's just Keisuke has nothing here, so
2-0-1.
it looks like he's going to go 2-0-1 here, and probably going to frame that Massacre Girl.
No kidding. Every single
It just
time
won him
we saw
every
that.
single game, basically. No. Yeah.
Steuer drew his card, then decided, actually, on your end step, I think I'm going to play Spider-Man.
Okay. Spider-Man gets in. Now, Keisuke just bluffing something here, because of course he could have moved the daggers over. Yep.
And that's going to do it. Nathan Steuer picks up the win and improves to 2-0-1. That draw in the first round kind of sticking around. He felt like he also maybe had the chance to win that one if there was more time as well. So almost a 3-0 there for Steuer. He's going to have to settle for 2 wins and 1 draw here.
Yeah. No, great run. And I mean, this is what happens, right? The kind of narrative of the limited format going into this was white is the best color. White was open, and Nathan is now 2-0-1.
Yeah, that's right. And he successfully stayed just in white. He had a few different veers in the draft. You can go back and watch it if you missed it from this morning. He is who we watched in our feature, but ended up on straight up black-white, and it did carry him to a very nice record here in the opening one. We have more Magic for you here. We've got Gabriel Nassif playing against Ramón Santos. And as you can see, it's a little bit lopsided.
That's a lot of top finishes.
16
Marshall.
top finishes in a Hall of Fame. No top finishes yet for Santos yet, as I said, but we are going to join this one in game number 2, and Santos is up a game over the Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
See if he can't pick up a match off of Nassif. That is no small task.
Definitely not here, but up a game here against one of the true greats of the game. Ramón representing his country here, as you can see. Got the Puerto Rican flag on his sleeves.
That looks sweet.
Yeah, it's nice. Nassif,
Typical opener here for Nassif.
Island.
Pair of Island.
We say Dine, maybe? What? Oh, that's a Hawkeye.
Okay.
All right. Really strong 2-drop there. Does a lot of work, and Nassif does not have an answer for it right now. Does he have a frozen and nice? Misses
have a third land.
drop. That is rough, because with 2 blue mana, there's not that much you can be representing outside of Counterspell. And of course, if he had it, he would have fired it off here. So now Ramón can attack, maybe rummage, deal extra damage. But of course, against an opponent who hasn't played anything, you just want to build out your board here.
Nassif was my pre-tournament pick to win the whole thing, but he's not going to do it if by missing his third land drop.
Yeah, I mean, but look, if Nassif is 2-1 in the limited portion,
Yeah, I'll take it.
he doesn't lose in constructed.
That's
so.
right. That's right.
I'm at 16, yeah. 21.
Red Room Recruit, given Nassif missed his land drop, I imagine Ramón is really going to look to discard a non-land permanent here. That's a Hydra Infiltration, which would have been great. But I guess when you have 2 decent creatures in play, you're not going to get that attack by yourself trigger.
Oh,
Firing
Pim
off
particles.
particles. Okay, hits the land.
It actually hit the forest,
Right?
though.
Does he have a scroll or something? No, that's a reptile, and that is not going to be that strong here.
No, not great without extra mana available.
Right,
So he's going to
it's-
be taking a beating here in the meantime.
Yeah, it's a good mana sink, but it's a 1/2. It doesn't really block that well. And so Ramón can safely attack with both creatures here. The only thing Nassif could be representing is a D power, but Ramón wouldn't lose either of his creatures through that. Can he follow this up? Madame Hydra.
Well,
All right, well.
interesting. It's at least nice combo with Hawkeye there too, right?
Yeah, yes. So Madame Hydra. So now if Ramón just runs out villains, just going to start making a bunch of tokens here. And wow, this is I was thinking with Nassif got the 3 mana, he'd play something, nice, like a Justice or a Shield Deployment Drone. That is an Atlantean Cavalry that is in play here. And Ramón, remember, Hawkeye also makes it so you can't block with a creature. You can pay a mana to do that as well. So this is a tough spot here.
Especially with a
Oh
removal
my
spell in
gosh.
addition.
Right. And now you get to get in for everything. And you can just, because the reptile is only a 1/2, just deal 2 damage. Go to the face.
Sure. 2 more to you.
Yeah.
You don't have any blocks anyway.
Yeah, and now you go down to 4.
Yeah, this is GG. I don't see any way out from blue-green for Nassif, even if he finds his 4th mana.
Right,
And that's going
yeah.
to do it. Ramón Santos evens things up and picks up the pod in a tough pod, having to face down Nassif in the finals, no less. And he picks up that 3-0. That is really impressive.
Yeah, just a really, really good curve there. And Nassif looks like kept a bit of a risky hand. It is interesting because maybe Nassif was already on a mulligan or something. We're not entirely sure what happened, because if you keep a hand like that, you'd at least expect by the time he gets to his 3rd land, he's going to play something really strong.
The fireworks should start it instead
but
it's Atlantean
it was
Cavalry.
Atlantean Cavalry.
Yeah.
So.
So not really where you want to be. All right, we're going to take a short break here from Amsterdam. But when we come back, we'll be back at the news desk to help you set up for Modern. Don't go anywhere.